D&D gang, what's going on, guys? I got another video today. You know the drill. Today's video, highly requested. Hundreds of you guys on YouTube and Instagram want to know what is my Euro nymphing setup. So the reveal is here. We're going to go over this start to finish in detail, get you guys up to speed. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. Alrighty, so let's start with the basics, right? The rod and the reel. This is a Cortland competition nymph rod. It's a really, really good rod for the money. It's not a Thomas & Thomas, but it's an excellent rod, and this particular one is a 10.5 foot 3-weight. 10.5 foot 3-weight. I stress the half because the 10-foot rods are really, really popular, and I don't think they have enough reach. I think you get used to this very, very quickly. You know, the first time you pick up a nymph rod, it's going to feel kind of awkward, kind of long. You almost feel like you can't cast it, but you get used to these so quick. It's crazy. And if you buy a 10-foot rod, you're really going to wish you had a little bit more reach when you finally do get used to it. So you guys can definitely leave me comments in this video. Let me know down below the rod length and the rod weight that you like to Euro nymph. Everybody has their own opinion, but a 10.5 foot 3-weight is my opinion of the perfect nymphing rod. As far as the reel goes, super, super inexpensive, cheap max catch, 2/3-weight reel. I didn't really spend a lot of money on the reel because it's very rare in the waters I fish that I'm going to hook a trout large enough to where I'm going to need a good drag system. Everything I do personally is with my hands. So this is more or less just a line holder. So I went a little on the cheap side. It's up to you guys what you want to do. But this works well enough for me. It hasn't failed me yet. And it's super inexpensive. So I don't stress about dropping it on the rocks or kind of beating it up a little. So that's the rod and reel setup. I'm going to go ahead and take some line off. And we'll get into the kind of meat and potatoes of the Euro nymphing setup. Look at that. So we'll go all the way to the back, and then I'll show you guys from the back forward what we're working with here. Alrighty, so the actual rig itself. So as you guys can see, I have some green fly line on this reel. Now this reel I actually use on another rod, a small, kind of a small stream dry fly rod. So I do have normal floating line, literally 2/8 floating line on this reel in case I use it for dry flies with a whole other rod. From that fly line, I have, put this down. So I have this really, really cheap mono I bought. This is 15 pound. It's just cheap orange colored 15 pound monofilament off Amazon. And there's probably, I don't know, maybe like 20 feet of this. More or less just kind of a backing system. It doesn't matter, guys. Now we get kind of serious. So from there, I just have a little knot. And that's where we get into the 12 pound mono. So this is just your Sunset Amnesia 12 pound memory-free monofilament. So I'll leave a link to this in the description. Again, 12 pound, it's green. Sunset Amnesia. That's the system. 12 pound mono. And there's probably, man, I don't know, maybe like 35 feet of this. And this 12 pound mono goes down to a small little knot. And then we have maybe about 15 inches of smaller diameter mono. This is probably like 8 pound test, and it's clear. And then I have a tippet ring, and then you just have your tippet where you're doing your normal triple surgeons and leaving your tag ends and tying your flies on. So I know I went kind of quick. Let me just recap that again for you guys. So we have our reel. Right on the back of the reel, we have that 2/8 floating line that I personally have because I use the reel for different occasions. From that floating line, we have about 20 feet of cheap orange colored 15 pound regular monofilament. And then that goes to this 12 pound green Sunset Amnesia. right? And then there's probably 30 yards of that. That goes down to, again, another knot where we have a little piece of different mono in here where you traditionally would have a citer. You would traditionally have a citer to a tippet ring and then your tippet and your flies. I actually skip that step. I do a lot by feel, and I just have a good vision with just the green line itself. So I just have the green amnesia to that little piece of the thinner mono, to the tippet ring, to my tippet and my flies. So there you have it. That's the rig that I use. I'm sure everybody has their own little twist. You guys can let me know in the comments what you particularly like to use, what works best for you, what you've used in the past. Anything you want to go ahead and drop in the comments. I'll definitely read it and consider it, and maybe make some changes in the future. We'll try a few different things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you found this at least somewhat helpful, consider liking the video. It definitely helps out with all that BS YouTube algorithm stuff. So consider that, and that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video.